So Splatoon 3 has come to the end of its life cycle, with it all culminating in the amazing Grand Festival, the ultimate battle between past, present, and future. RIP Team Future, we tried our hardest. And what, you may ask, am I doing at this important time? Now, I make Minecraft videos, but I still wanted to celebrate Splatoon's end, so I decided to go a bit into the past and build the entirety of Side Order in Minecraft. We started out by spending a bit of time making a block palette. Well, I did, while Hex decided to make a hill out of dirt for some reason, and eventually decided on using a bunch of light gray blocks. Using that palette, I built up the entryway that you walk in from in the game, and everything was going well. Once we got to this bridge section, however, we ran into an issue. Is there nothing that matches that color? You see, there's a small golden rim that goes along the outside of the entire platform of the foyer. If we couldn't find a good block to replicate it with, the video would be over. Okay, maybe it isn't that deep. We used bamboo signs with carpet on them. Moving on, I started to design those huge tiles that make up the wall, while Hex expanded the bridge. But, if you look closely at the walls in Side Order, you'll see that they're actually made up of a bunch of smaller tiles. I spent a lot of time fiddling with block palettes, trying to make it look good, before I finally gave up and decided to keep it simple. Oh, and by the way, I'm aware that this texturing absolutely sucks and looks like someone puked concrete. It'll be fixed later. Probably. Once I cloned a few of the wall pieces, I realized I had messed up again and they needed to be thinner. Man, I was struggling. How difficult is it to make a literal wall? I remembered my counting skills and tried to work on these itty-bitty little spotlights that poke out of the water, but I couldn't find any good block for them at this scale. Why can't we place item frames on walls, Mojang? Why? We settled on end rods, which can't be waterlogged for some reason. Hextron left, and I finally began to work on the main platform. And with a small bit of platforms done, I logged off for the night. Hex was back online and I showed him around what I had built, along with a few things I built off camera, like this platform on the left and the dash track on the opposite side. Then, Hex made an infinity ball design and I worked more on walls. Here, you could see me add in more of the water, which really gives the whole room a sense of scale. I then started making the giant cyan pillars that support the ceiling. I decided on this copper design and tried to find out where to put it so that it's accurate to the game. That's when I realized something. All this time, we had been tediously experimenting with the scale, not really sure about much. But let me just play a clip from Side Order, and I want you to look for anything that would help with scale. Ooh, the ceiling's a 5x5 block grid, isn't it? You didn't see anything, listen? The bridge was always this length, I'm not stupid, and nothing happened. Anyway, I moved back to the pillars, and before you ask, yes, I did try using literal cyan glass, and it didn't look good. For now, I'll stick with copper. I then broke out some good old basalt and mapped out the whole ceiling grid. This essentially was just select area, use clone tool, repeat. Thank goodness for Axiom. It was only after I finished this grid that I realized just how big this one room is. If we're going to make all of Side Order, this is the smallest room we'll have to build. All of the other floors and stages are absolutely huge. I'm not even sure if it'll be possible to build all 36 unique floors, let alone eventually make them functional. This is a big project, and we're just getting started. So if you're looking forward to it, consider subscribing. It's entirely free, and it helps me continue to make these videos. And while you're down there, leave a like, comment,
forfeit your soul.
It's up to you. Anyway, that's enough yapping, and let's get back to the build. I worked on the grid alone for a while, changing the basalt to andesite and adding some texturing, and then I added the first bit of ceiling. This brought up a new problem. You see, in Side Order, the foyer is lit by these massive light panels that cover most of the ceiling. However, Minecraft Light doesn't work that way. Even if the entire roof was made of light blocks like sea lanterns, their light wouldn't reach to the bottom without a ray tracing shader. So, I present to you Ray Tracing at Home! Using the most advanced light block technology, we can light your rooms in no time! So, guess the build isn't survival friendly anymore. Oh well. With that experiment's success, I moved on to the centerpiece of the whole room, the elevator. And now that I'm looking at it, is this thing made of hinges? I don't know, that just seems kind of random. Why would an elevator shaft have hinges? Is it just gonna go Well, maybe not. Anyway, Hex took over from there while I added finishing bits to various places and finally started on the first sidewall. It took me a few tries to find a prototype that worked for the giant colored light strips in side order, but I concluded that the transition between colors was too harsh, so I scrapped it and used a smooth looking design with light blocks. The one glaring issue with this wall was, it sucks. Like, this is absolute dog water. At that point though, I was really not in the mood to texture more gray slate, and I wanted to do something else. So the next day, I did. I started off the fourth day by corrupting half my footage to the point where editing Handshake had a very hard time scripting this. I don't know, have some replay shots or something. One thing I do know is that we raised the entire foyer into the sky to stop those gosh darn glow squids from spawning. After that though, I added in all the ray tracing at home shafts, and I can confirm that this looks absolutely insane. Just look at the difference that makes, it's crazy. And as a bonus, it looks really trippy when you hold a light block. I'll later go back to these and change them from light level 15 to 14 in order to tone down how blindingly bright the whole area looks. While I drooled over my own amazing light work, Hex went back to the elevator area and put in the cubes that you could use to replay boss fights. At the same time, I copied over the first wall to the other side. It's not the greatest looking, but again, I'll retexture everything later. Does the sign on the entrance door say Sigma?
You finally noticed. I did that at the very beginning.
I'm pretty sure I wrote D's on like at least 5 signs. Once we replaced the water after Hextron accidentally broke it with the extrude tool, we actually for real started the elevator this time, I swear. Hex opted for smooth quartz walls and chiseled quartz in the corners, and I think it contrasts amazingly with the uniform gray of the rest of the room. When it came to the doors of the elevator, we had a bit of trouble. We couldn't find any metallic block that would fit. Eventually, we decided that shulker boxes would work, and I think they look a lot like doors. The only downside is that it can't be a piston door, but hey, it looks nice. Also, speaking of which, we actually did try a piston door. No idea what we were thinking there. But, with the elevator's exterior complete, I was out of time in the day and logged off to get some well-deserved sleep. I began by copy-pasting the entire half we had already built to the other side. Now this place is finally starting to come together, but there's still some things that need to be done. One of those being the sidewalls. I've been procrastinating doing this for too long, so let's just get into it. We moved back to the vertical lights and found out that the light looks much better when exposed to the sky. So, we removed the tops and made some sort of weird chimney for sunlight. I still wasn't 100% on the design though. I textured the area in between the large panels, albeit lazily due to me copy-pasting it on both sides. I then realized that I somehow missed multiple light shafts. Baffled at my own incompetence, I fixed the problem and moved back to the lights. With these additions, the foyer is all but finished, and there's only one thing left to do. If any of you wonderful viewers are even slightly cultured in the Minecraft building niche, you may have been wondering when I was gonna fix the god-awful poop texture of the walls. Well, I thought you'd never ask. I spent a whole session going through and manually texturing each and every single panel on every single wall by myself. Heck, I even redid the floors. The things I do for you guys. You'd better be subscribed! Here you can see me replacing the sunlights with end rods, which looks better, but again, isn't final. And after some minor material edits, I was done? I logged off, and that was the end. The 1.21 update came out, and I forgot about the project. I played on some servers, made some friends, and abandoned the hours of work I had done. Until... I do not know how long it's been. I literally have not been in this world for... It was pre 1.21 actually, so that was like a really long time ago. I mean, it's not the right color, but that definitely... Nope. Are there any other grates? No, that's great. Okay, good. And one final look shows me that this does not exist. So get ready for ASMR. I think I've said this like at least 4 times, but once this roof is done, it's actually the end of this episode. I can't believe I delayed it for so many months. Oh, and by the way, huge thanks for 100 subscribers. Yeah, it's just triple digits and it makes me happy. So, could we get it to 4 digits, please? Oh, look at that. Everything's lit up. Oh, my Switch fell asleep. No, my Switch died. Well, I guess no more side order footage. I was gonna do a side-by-side order. I'm so funny. I should win an award for being so fun. In the time leading up to me editing this, I added just a few more things, like the final design for the light strips, which looks best with complementary shaders, and these crimson trapdoors to better represent the color of the walls. And there you have it, the entire foyer of side order built one-to-one in Minecraft. This video was very different from my usual, and if you like it, I'll be sure to continue this project. But this video is already like a month late, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.